So when we look to the nature of the brain-body system, again, remember, we are either left or right, active or passive. And every single aspect of what is possible for each of us is because of the unique differentiated possibility that is inherent in our very core programming, our nature, our blueprint. Differentiation is fulfilled in two ways. We have a brain-body system, because if you don't deal with the body, nothing happens. Nothing really, truly happens. The body must be treated correctly, in other words. Very important to nourish your body uniquely and differently. So let's start with the left brain-body system. If your sun, earth, on the unconscious side, that top left arrow is pointed left, you have an active brain. So you're looking at a brain that has a higher energy consumption. The recommendation is not to skip meals. So you know that fad of everybody doing a very long fast regularly? That may not be correct for you. So experiment. Your busy brain-body system needs more stimulation. It actually has smell, taste, and outer vision as part of how it is cognitively different, one of those three. Now, the other unique thing about this kind of being is that your body actually carries a lower water retention than someone like me who is right-facing. The brain is active, it's putting things in a box. You could say that it's focused on its survivability, the discrimination of either smell, taste, or outer vision. This is the stimulation of, correctly, this brain-body system. Physically, alchemically, what is nourishing for thee. Now, if you are a right brain-body system, we're looking at somebody who is passive, or in other words, lower in its energy consumption. You're leaning towards rightness, which is future oriented. So you're way more sensitive, meaning you're easier to get overly stimulated by the outside world. Low stimulation is more correct for you. Inner vision, feeling, touch. So the relaxed brain body doesn't need as much fuel. Just eat when you're hungry. It's okay to skip meals. Now we do have a higher water retention. We don't have a specific focus of physical attention. It's more receptive in nature to the itness of being, the frequencies. You're taking in all kinds of things, pheromones, as far as the experience. I happen to be feeling, and feeling is everything. It runs the whole spectrum of all the frequencies. So if you are easily overstimulated, isn't it nice to know that you were designed this way by nature? There's nothing wrong with you, that it's okay to get some sensory muffling. Some of us wear earmuffs or headphones, or we might wear glasses. We might like to, avoid crowds. It's just the nature of you. Nothing wrong with you. Okay. So that was just a brief overview of some of the touchstones into the awareness of what your brain-body system happens to bring. That was a little touchstone into the first of the 4 transformations, radical transformations. If you want to explore this journey, is one of the keys to your next step. Beyond living your design as an awakening experience, the next thing to do, it's like a deeper layering of living your design, going into radical transformation. So these 4 arrows of leftness and rightness, first starting with digestion, or what Ra would call the proper dietary regimen for the optimal functioning of your brain-body system. Digestion and awareness. That's the first step for the body, because without a functioning body, your mind, the software, cannot run very well on hardware that's all gunky. It's all gooped up, all conditioned, out of integrity. So once we get the brain-body system aligned with digestion, what we'll find is we come to this space where we have an opening into the environmental portal and view, as in, how can we first be nourished by digestion, be in the right place, see things clearly, and then out pops our outer authority or our mental awareness, our cognitive difference, our unique differentiated perspective given to an other awareness without an agenda, nine-centered enlightenment. It's simple. You don't have to understand how it works for everybody. Just see how well it works for thee. See it. Be it. You have your own particular way that your mind is designed to focus and also articulate your own individual knowing. And it's not about good, bad, right, wrong. It's about difference. It's about uniqueness. It's about celebrating the uniqueness inside of you. So when we look over at the mind and the motivational system, of course, it's going to be left or right. So it's going to be strategic, that's left, or receptive, that's right. And this is, again, where the personality, see the black, personality happens to be the awareness principle inside of thee, your sun, earth, your personality, the thing that was imprinted inside of you on the day of your birth. So the consciousness field is rooted in one thing for everybody, for all of us, the possibility of giving correct outer authority. So outer authority is where your mind is best, as in, this is what it's like for me, for some beings, or this is here what I see and what I'm aware of for thee, other beings. And all of us can be an outer authority for another. For example, I happen to be a projector creature. We are here to have success through mastery of systems to guide and advise the other in right timing. So by giving forth the nature of the awareness principle of what we came here to do, I'm here to contagiate and infect you, cross of contagion. I contagiate people with knowledge because this is where I happen to be. Then what happens is we live out our purpose innocently. There's nothing that has to be done. Just seeing, just being aware. So we're all here for expressing the uniqueness of either our strategic or receptive outer authority, our unique cognitive difference, the awareness principle of what you came here to be liberated from choice if you're strategic, that left-facing arrow, or you're here to have the seeing be something that is not strategic and is actually receptive in nature, which is simply about being, to be surrendered, perfect in our unique divinity. I imagine you'd like to know more about these things, so we'll go through them one at a time, simply, hopefully not too difficultly when it comes to explaining. Now, the left, liberated from choice. That's the goal. The strategic mind is here to let go of choosing. Now, this is radically different, difficult to do, I grant you, if you've got a strategic mind, because it's too easy to get hooked on what you are aware of and think that you have to do. Those strategies are actually for the others outside of you. We who are strategic, we discriminate by focusing and remembering very specific things. It's almost like we miss everything else, just honing in on a specific focus. We don't store additional information, it's not necessary, not to our purpose and our unique cognitive difference. You can pull from your own memory. So the mind has its own agenda, a strategy, a goal. Those strategies are not for you to make mental choices from. But you can communicate outer authority themes for survival that the other people in other quadrants are going to need. So to learn things, to be able to be aware uniquely and differently, trust your focus, your mental awareness, review anything that you've missed. So when it comes to learning, test taking. This is the thing that's going to help you see what you have missed. So if you're in any of my courses, you'll notice that there are optional quizzes. The reason they're optional is because the right variable may not like those very much. But the strategic, you who came here to focus and do, strategize and see, it's about the logic of our human purpose to see strategically. So you may look towards the ability to look out for or protect or be on guard. Being strategic means strategizing. So you're dealing with facts and figures and goal orientation. Remember, primary influences of intelligence. First, we have to have our survival. How you make your way through the world is that you're often competing on the mental plane. You're interpreting sensory keys that lead us to more awareness. It might be very intuitive, instinctual, even if you are emotional in nature. So you're storing formulas, again, facts and figures, logic. How do sounds react when they're connected? How do you identify with a formula or a way of interpretation? There's bits and pieces, may not be stored as a holistic whole. What happens with your mind when you're out of integrity is that you're obsessed with controlling outside reality. So you may find yourself mentally manipulating, having agenda. There's some cunning reasons there. You might be conniving. And yet, what are we designed to be aware of? Being liberated from choice in order to see. It's not about making mental decisions. And that's the danger of being strategic in nature. So letting go of anything that brings the disconnect, the discordance, the dis-ease mentally. Again, linking back to Happy Mental Awareness Month. Human design, not just a technique for making decisions, but also the best therapy. So saith Ra, and I too have seen it, going through the professional training, if it's right for you to do. Not necessarily that you want to do this for a living. It might be your retirement gig. I know a lot of beings who do this, shifting around the midlife into something with more meaning, more feeling, more purpose, more fulfillment. And not only for yourself, but also helping the other. This material is so energizing and helping you self-realizing. It's definitely a positive aspect of how this works for each of us, especially for you if you know that this human design system helps you. Now, when we look forward into the future that's coming, the receptive nature of the rave creature is we are a precursor to that which is coming, but we're not quite there yet. The receptive mental awareness oftentimes expresses information you don't know how you know. You don't know that you know it. It's just like somebody's coming over and pulling things out of you. So the storage of what's correct for you to tap into is enhanced by your primary health system. That's PHS. We could also call it our personal health system. The digestion and environmental framing, the contextual reality that the physicality came here to be immersed in and to emerge from. Now, your intelligence, when you're a right-facing mental being, your intelligence reflects your milieu or the others who pull from you. Notice what they're pulling from you. Those are the things that are your invitation, projector, responding generator, or initiating themes, manifestor. When it comes to being surprised by life, reflector. What is it that is pulled from you that feels correct to be aware of? Not necessarily do. Remember, we're talking about outer authority here, our unique cognitive difference. So the receptive being is here to surrender to being quote unquote used by life, by others who dip into your well of receptivity. So you are as intelligent as the beings around thee. To learn, instead of strategizing and test taking, just pay attention, just be present. Just allow for thine cup to be filled and to share, to give to the other of what you are aware. In being, without strategy, to be surrendered to being, is this multicolored, multidimensional reality. And it's not, again, good, bad, right, wrong. It's storing data that can be of value, that is drawn out of you. So while the receptive being, like you, is designed to experientially give of its nature of awareness, a sensory phenomena of experiential processing as it's coming out, the left is strategizing as it's going in. So it's a very different process that this mind brings. Your mind is not designed to interfere with thought processes as you're receiving. It's not about acting or action. It's about awareness. So if, let's say, as an example, experiment with this. Here's something practical to see. You might try the next time you're learning something to lose the pen and paper, as in, don't try to take notes. Just be present. Just be aware. Just be receiving. And then you'll see how beyond compare you are, because the surprising thing about you is that you won't know what you know until it's drawn out of you. So let's say you're listening to today's lecture. And what happens is afterwards, you're like, I have no idea what I just learned. You're trying to figure it out. You're like, Somebody asks about it. What'd you learn this morning? You're like, not really sure. But when somebody pulls something from you directly, what will happen is your receptive nature then unfolds, almost like it's unfolding out in front of you. So you lose the ability to absorb the necessary data if you're trying to strategize on how to act on those informational feeds that is coming in while you're receiving. You are way more sensitive and connected to the emotional, experiential feeling realm. So it's non-conceptualized when you take things in. You have access to that source material. It's the doorway you are to the future, the rave that's coming. Rave being the full-blown, nine-centered being that will operate not independently, but through their auric, pentic grouping, 3 to 5 people. So you're the perfect person to have a conversation with, but not strategize. You have this capacity to operate somewhat innocently, you could say, without a reason necessarily. So to learn, just pay attention, just be present. Trust in the nature of your giftedness, your receptivity, your awareness. So the mind is very different than the body. Body being hardware, mind being software. This is the key. The awareness principle inside of you is attuning to that which is true, not attempting to force or push, but just seeing the awareness principle of what is right for you to see. And then, if it's correct for you to do through your strategy and authority, you come to rest in this space where you no longer ask me or anybody what to do, because that's not what human design is about. It's about you making decisions for yourself, not necessarily trying to have somebody tell you what to do. Now, the design sun earth, you see, digestion at a physical level, these variable groupings. Again, it describes your brain. Is it active or passive? Mine's passive. Active would be pointing left, passive is right. So my husband's an active brain. He needs more food, nourishment, energy, stimulation to sustain a higher level of strategic mental activity. Active brains. Their energy of their mentality, their physicality really is like steam coming out of the ears because they're really locking things in a box. They're categorizing, strategizing. The active brain body system requires more energy, more fuel. So that simple example, I'll give you a little story. My husband and I lived together initially. I was shocked at how much food he ate and how skinny that man, just rarely um, getting a little chunkier or heavy. He thought of himself as, but I was like, no, not comparatively. But seeing how much fuel he ate was incredible to see. And I could just eat like a tiny bird. You know, I've always been accused of, hey, eat, eat more. Families who want to take care of you by feeding you. So, what happens with the beings who are left or active as opposed to me who is passive? My husband and I are really great examples of this. The active brain can deal with heat more easily than we who are passive brain. It also has to do, especially if you are like me and my husband too, third color here, because truly we're here to have the clarity of our unconscious physicality rise forth with either coolness, I'm cool, cool, whereas he's more hot. So as a 5-1, which is what he happens to be, he is an investigator that heats people up, whereas I'm a heretic that cools people down. So it's interesting. It's oftentimes fascinating to see what attracts each other, are we to each other, really. We oftentimes see polar opposites just like that in many different places. The personality, the witness consciousness at a psychological level, this variable, again, it describes whether or not you have a strategic or receptive mind. Now, society primarily values people who are always strategic in nature, that functioning of, test taking and action oriented survival, capabilities of getting beyond the uncertainty. Our minds, who are receptive, these beings, you might feel this way, like you're less capable than beings who are strategic, who are really great at test taking. Maybe you couldn't fit in or excel your mind, at school, not feeling like you were able to excel or belong. This affects us throughout our lives, our mentality. The mentality is so deeply attuned to not only this part inside of you, again, Ra called it the control panel, but it's all linked to the openness inside of you. Any place that's white, Think of like a little spokesperson there for conditioning inside your head about yourself. So in the not self tendency, thinking that there's something wrong with you or wrong with the other or wrong with life or wrong with the world, just seeing wrongness, feeling like there's something disquieting, discomforting inside of you. So back to that story at the beginning of the reason why I felt inspired to share this with you, because I was reading that woman's email where she was talking about her poor child, autistic, OCD, locked in this spiraling, cycling, spinning its wheels, feeling terrible inside. I can remember that when I was younger, out of integrity with being my own authority, feeling like there was something icky, wrong, bad, flawed inside, and just spinning out, thrown for a loop. That feeling goes away the longer you're deconditioning, because the more that you're operating in alignment, there is no good, bad, right, wrong. Well, for me anyway, there is this acceptance, the ability to accept what is, the ability to see things more clearly, personally, and without judgment, without blame, without fault, without regret. Now, I tell you, it's not commonplace, nor is it, of course, even with me all the time. We still have minds. One of my friends sent me this video of Cher saying that her greatest gift was her mind. Something like her greatest curse, too, was her brain, actually, which was speaking to her brain. So these things inside of you, remember, the mind is not about trying to make a decision. It's for measuring. Maya, to measure the illusion, delusion, or the false narrative around you. What human design helps you do is free you from the judgment calls that the mind is attempting to make for you, to protect you, to do its job. And yet that's not really what it's here for. It's not for mental decision making. It's for outer authority. This is what it came here to be aware of. The decision is placed with the body compass, the navigation system that is true for you, unique to you throughout the entirety of one's life experience. So by knowing how you're designed to not only take in and process information and food physically or mentally, this helps you take advantage of not only optimal or aligned functioning, it gives you the gift of understanding yourself, which is really, really unique and different and special, so that you can trust your own physicality, your capacity to move through life correctly, rather than always having this question mark burning inside of your head, wondering what to do, trying to seek outside of you, to have somebody else tell you, oh, this person is certain, so I'll just go ask them. No, the new era and the nine-centered awakening is about trusting yourself implicitly, intrinsically, not seeking for authority outside of you. This is about releasing dependency. This is about letting go of other people telling you what to do, whether they be people in white hats doing black magic, as Ra would say it, or not, whether you go to them intentionally or not. This is the thing that you came here to do. Seek to the authority inside of you. Those four arrows, those unique combinations, are designed to enhance your cognitive awareness of difference and help you in your discovery of what's true. How are you designed to make correct decisions for yourself? Let go of the apron strings or whatever it happens to be that other people bring. These are vital keys inside of you to guide you as you walk down the path of awakeness, of awareness. And you have the potential to come into contact with the highest level of consciousness, the cognitive functioning that is uniqueness, difference, that is true inside of you. It's possible if you experiment and see how well it works for thee. Ra recorded 16 different variables, those mappings, those groupings. And it is absolutely available. Go to Raw TV if you'd like to hear these recordings for each of the 16 variables, those configurations of uniqueness, those nodes of the moon that are designed to help us see and be in accordance with our we. Okay, we're looking at something different. Look closely. It's not exactly what we were seeing before. Do you see how we're looking at the nodes now? See the little horseshoes? Okay. South nodes pointed down. North nodes pointed up. Your personality brings perspective. Your design shows the environment. These are the we, or how we connect up with those around us. The true potential of our forms, not only physical connectivity to the body and what's around us, the we, so beings too, but also the personality's perspective, the awareness principle of how you see things uniquely. And these design nodes inside of you, oh, they're a precious gift of awareness. They connect us up with the cosmic sea of the frequency around even our solar system. They're portals in space. So those nodes of the moon, very magical places in space. Design particulars on the body side, we're seeing either, you might recall from the beginning, observed or observer. Okay? So when you delve into tone itself, the little triangle, we do that in the radical transformations clinics. This is where you can discover what environment is most healthy for you to live, work, and play in. Our optimal longevity, our inherent well-being. And then that leads us to having the likelihood of expressing the fullest, unique, differentiated potential of the highly prized benefits of operating correctly. Unique seeing, the perspective that is part of your divinity, your connective field to your cosmic reality, your incarnative purpose, your developmental wisdom potential, really. So your most efficient mental awareness springs forth from unique awareness and perspective that is not distracted by the homogenized way in which everybody sees. It gives you a better quality of life, really, because when your mental awareness is, let's say, maybe more focused or more peripheral, out pops your outer authority, your mental awareness from the sovereignty of being, your life's movie, your life's purpose. It really is an incredible thing to see. So variables at the we, remember, this is where we connect up with reality. It's not the internal I, it's we. Variable points us to not just how we see correctly, but also how we take in information from the environment. This way of seeing sets the whole foundation for how we are designed to truly deal with the world in a way that's not crazy making. I mean, literally. When you're distracted by those things and out of integrity with where you're designed to be, you physically can't see things correctly. You're oblivious to the things that you were here to see correctly. If you're operating out of authority, out of integrity, not in alignment with accordance with truth or your sovereignty. Now, mentally, you're going to see either focused, like me, or like my husband, peripheral. Two very, very different ways in which we see things. I swear, it's like he's got eyes in the back of his head or something. And I can be oblivious to something on a computer screen that's over in the corner if I'm highly focused on what I'm teaching. Now, when you're operating correctly in your environmental framing, then your viewpoint gives you the opportunity, the authority to offer your unique, again, cognitive difference. And enlightenment for a true nine-centered being is offering our unique, differentiated perspective given to an other without an agenda. No more of this something wrong with me or something wrong with them or strategizing or homogenizing. No more of that unfun stuff, because that stuff, it falls by the wayside. Those games people play, the cunning, conniving, backstabbing, that drops by the wayside. For me, anyway, it's like shrugging. Oh well, what to do? Not my circus, not my monkeys. Not anymore. Thank heavens. So, when it comes to being in alignment and in accordance with truth, your sovereignty, being your own authority, what you'll find is that life shifts and you emerge 7 years, Ra's guarantee and promise to thee. You emerge quite literally a new being. Those 4 arrows, those unique combinations, these very, very different ways in which we are here to be, both internally and externally, in accordance with we, as in we are a part of something greater. Each one of us, you, me, everybody. And what I love so much about being with the human design system, with those beings who are allowing everybody to be individual, unique, different, special, like snowflakes, is that no more are there excuses, rationalizing. No more are there challenges or upsets that one cannot face clearly and correctly in alignment with being one's own authority. So if you're ready to transform, my recognition of what I'd like to invite you to do, if it's right for you, reach out if you're ready to go through the transformative effect of getting professional guidance to implement the advice that Ra put forth. The introduction to Discovering Yourself, this ebook on Jovian Archive, might be a first step for you because you're brand new. But if you're ready, you've gone through living your design as an awakening experience, I invite you. Radical Transformations is your next step. And when you're ready to further emerge, I have a program, a coaching program for you. If you'd like to go through the deeper layers or levels, the magic square of what makes you so beyond compare.